Hey guys, welcome to TomGirl, where we talk all things sports, entertainment, fashion, and adventure. And today we have a very special guest, a great friend of mine from all the way across the pond, Rachael Naylor. She is the creator of the VoiceOver Network, editor of the Buzz VO magazine, a VO artist herself, and an actor. So much to talk about. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, I'm JJ Jurgens. Thanks so much for joining us again for another special episode here of TomGirl. Clearly, I'm having trouble talking today, but because I'm so excited to introduce to you Rachael Naylor. Thanks for coming, Rachael.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, well, you know, you're not in town very much, so I had to try to track you down while you were here. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come in because I know you have lots of things on your plate while you're here.
Hey, I love my trips out here. It's fantastic.
So you're out here again for another voiceover event.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody what you're here for on this time?
Yes, so I'm here. I'm a presenter for the Voice Arts Awards, which is happening this Sunday at the Warner Brothers Studios. So it's a big awards ceremony for voiceover artists, and it's going to be good fun. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. And you are someone that we all adore in the VO community, and you are the creator of the VoiceOver Network. So tell everybody who might not be familiar with what that network is, what it is.
So the VoiceOver Network is it's a membership organisation for voiceover professionals around the world, and it's all about helping, supporting and strengthening the voiceover industry, and that literally drives everything that we do. But we do events, we do training, there's the Buzz magazine, it's just an amazing community with lots of resources, and what I wanted to create was a safe place for working voiceover professionals to come together to help and support each other, to get advice, to basically improve things in the industry. And it's nearly 4 years old. It'll be 4 years old in January. And it's so wonderful to have members based all around the world. And it's not just for voiceover artists, but it's for agents, producers, casting directors, all to kind of come together and help and support each other.
And how did this idea get started for you?
So it came from, I had a little meetup group. So it was 2013. I went for a drink in London with 3 other voiceover artists, and I thought, this is really useful. Like, we were talking about agents and producers, and we were talking about marketing, and I thought we should do this more often. So I started this little meetup group, and it was originally called the West London Voiceover Artist Meetup Group, which is not catchy at all. And it just snowballed, and then people from other parts of London started contacting me and saying that they didn't live in West London, they lived in North London, could they still come? And I was like, yeah, everyone can come. And it was just, we'd go to the pub and we just chat, and so it grew and grew and grew, and then I decided to have it in central London. I changed the name, wanted to get more agents and producers, so we started charging so that we could provide food. And end of 2014, I looked at what I created, and I looked at the industry and how the big changes with home studios and agents and marketing. And so I wanted to do something to make a positive difference and help lots of people in the industry.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the challenges you faced growing this business?
So many. Oh, wow. So many. Lots of challenges. I mean, I think kind of juggling everything, because I'm a mum as well. So I've got 2 little ones. I've got Scarlett's 3 and Lily's 7. So it's juggling it all with my voiceover career and with having a family. That's a big challenge. I also what I've done has it's disrupted. So it's there are people who find it kind of difficult to kind of have change, and so I've tried to kind of provide a positive place for people to come. So, but it has its moments of being, full on with the events and everything going on. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
And now, when you were just getting started, I read some of the things that you did in order to really make the decision and go for it. Can you share with people some of those, what you went through at that time and how you went about tackling this?
What's that? So
you started getting up at 5 and
oh yes. Yeah, so I got very into the sort of entrepreneurial side of having a business, and I go along to a lot of entrepreneur events. But so what I started to do, it was the beginning of 2014, was I started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that was in order to do something called a 90 minutes. So my mentor is a guy called Nigel Botterill, who's an amazing entrepreneur. And he is always going on about doing your 90 minutes a day. And what you do as a business owner is you spend 90 minutes every day working on your business, not in it. So
Explain that again. So not doing.
So yeah,
not the day to day.
It's not the day to day. It's the planning. It's the really, really important stuff for a business owner that gets you to your goals. So you spend 90 minutes every day. You close the door. You keep people out. You turn your phone off. And the best thing to do is to do it before you do anything else. So the emails haven't started, you haven't gone on social media, your brain is totally fresh to spend 90 minutes working on your business, not in it. So not doing voiceover, recordings, not kind of responding. It's about being proactive, not reactive. So it's spending that time planning your marketing, writing blogs, writing PR, press releases, doing all that kind of stuff. And I started doing it in 2014, and it changed everything.
And what are some of the steps that you did to grow? Like, who did you attack? Like, did you do letters? Did you do phone calls? What are some of the business steps that you took to grow this network?
So, just so much. I've loads and loads of things. So lots of PR. So I got massively into PR, social media. I mean, I love social media. I actually teach some workshops on social media, but that for me has been huge. And yeah, just kind of getting out there. The events, the in-person events, I think are really, really important. And it's all about networking. It is all about networking, and networking is something I'm really, really passionate about. And it's not. Some people find networking, that word kind of really intimidating, but it is just chatting. Just chatting to people. It's about building relationships. It's about going and helping other people, which is a big thing that I kind of push. So networking isn't about you; it's about other people. And if you can go into a networking situation and think, if I can go and help somebody else, it takes the pressure off you. Suddenly, because it's always that thing, like, I have to be really interesting.
And there's also like, I don't want to push too hard, or like try to sell myself, or like there's that fine line of how you do act in those situations.
Yeah, and so I think absolutely the key with networking is to go into the situation and think about how you can help that person, listen, and see if you can connect them with somebody that you know, because then it's not about you, and that's when networking really works. So I really kind of promote that sort of thing within the network. Basically.
So tell us about some of the events that you put on with the network.
So we run lots of events. They've mainly been in London, in the UK, because obviously that's where I'm based. But we have started doing them around the world. We had our first one in New Zealand in July, and we're actually going to do one in LA this Thursday, which is very exciting. So our events, I do lots of evening drinks events. So they're called Vond.
And she's a limoncello fan, right?
Yes, limoncello. I'll tell you that. So the limoncello story. So Vond stands for VoiceOver Network Drinks. And everyone goes, "What's the D? What's the D?" I'm like, "It's drink."
I never knew that until that's great.
And the limoncello thing came from our first ever paid event. So it was the Summer Party 2014, and my business coach at the time had kind of he really encouraged me to have an event where we charge, because I wanted to get agents and producers and casting directors in the room. So it's like, okay, so if we charge people, then we can provide them with some free food and drinks and get them in, and you sold lots of tickets. And I had that moment just before, where you have like you have the good angel, and then you have the bad, one on your shoulder, and the bad one started, in my head started saying, yeah, but what if it's really boring and it's rubbish? And so I thought, okay, well, what can I do? I thought I'll just get everyone drunk. So I thought, okay, right, well, what can I give people? And I was thinking, okay, tequila's a bit harsh, sambuca's like, thinking shots. So I just thought, limoncello. It's that lovely drink that you get at the end of an Italian meal. You know, it's quite. So I went and bought some bottles of limoncello, and actually the event went really well. It was really fun. I didn't need it, but I just thought, oh, we'll get the limoncello out, and it's yellow, and we gave out little shots of limoncello to everyone, and people went crazy. They went nuts, and it was all over social media. And since then, every single event we've ever had, we always give out limoncello at the end of the evening, and people love it. It's kind of part of the branding now. But but we do evening events, but we also do day events. So we have an event called Get Your Game On, which is an event that's all about promoting great voice acting in video games. Mm-hmm. So it's all about video games, and that's been really, really popular. And we get speakers and workshops, and because video games is such an exciting area of the voiceover industry that's just going through the roof right now. So we do that, and then I also have an event called Above and Beyond, which is all about going above and beyond for your clients and going above and beyond in your career, in your voiceover career. And we do that. It's a 2-day event. And there's training, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah. What is your advice for somebody in the United States? I'm sure you get asked this a lot.
Yes.
Who would like to expand their business, their VO career from just the United States to London or other places?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the exciting thing about being a voiceover artist. You have a home studio, and you can literally work with clients all around the world. And it is just that thing of reaching out. So, you know, if anybody wants to work with clients in the UK, you just get on Google and search, you know, production companies in London, and then just email them. And what's great about doing things like that is that you're a big fish in a small pond. Is that right? Yes. As opposed to being a small fish in a big pond. Yes. So it's like, so for instance, in the UK, there's a small group of American voiceover artists who are kind of basically booking all the American voiceover work. And you know, a lot of that work you don't necessarily need to be there in person. So, you know, so Americans can get the work in the UK, and it's the same the other way around. Because I book work over here, and it's great because I'm kind of, you know, I'm the English voice.
You're authentic,
yeah.
So,
but so it's all good.
That's great to know. Well, on top of that whole network, you also are the editor of The Buzz. Yes. So tell us about this, because I know you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this magazine.
Oh, so The Buzz magazine is the only magazine in the world dedicated to the voiceover industry.
That a girl.
Yay. And it's only in print, but it is available globally, so people can subscribe to that. And I'm really, really proud of the magazine. The idea for the magazine actually came before the VoiceOver Network, and it's part of the VoiceOver Network now. But I came up with the idea because I got into PR. Like I started finding out about PRing, you know, my voiceover business, and I started getting in the local paper and getting interviews, and then I was looking around thinking, right, let's find a magazine that's about voiceovers. And there was nothing. And so I subscribed to this audio magazine, which was all about sound engineering. I think I still get it. It's free. It comes through. And I have no idea what they're talking about. You know, it's like, it's really technical. Yeah. And I was like, why don't we have our own magazine as an industry? All industries have magazines. Why don't we have one? So, I was like, I'll just start one. And,
why not?
Yeah. You know, saying that, how hard can it be, right? You just get, you know, some articles together and throw them together and get it printed. And, well, it takes a bit more than that. But, it's a big job, but it's wonderful. And I'm so proud. So, I think which one's this? This is the 14th. So, the 15th edition is coming out soon. But, so it's a quarterly magazine. And it's,
So how many people do you have helping you with this at this point, or is it still just all you?
It's a small, I do. It's a small team. So how many have we got on this? Four people. Yes, 4 people working on it. So but it's good. It's really good, and it's a great thing for the industry to kind of provide. So
I love how you just dive into things, and like, you know, you could have started that and been like, oh, okay, this is just way above, like too much for me. So how do you keep going through, you know, doing that? And what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs when they're faced with things like that projects that you think may be too big for them? How can you break it down and succeed?
Yeah, well, so I'm one of those people. It's like, show me a mountain, like I want to climb it, and I'm big into challenges and just I was brought up in a very active family, and I'm the youngest, and it's that thing, and I think the key is to have people around you that support you. For those moments when you feel like you can't do it. So having, a coach. So I have a business coach. I also have a business mentor. And I read a lot of self-development books. I go to conferences. I watch TED Talks. I really I make sure that I'm constantly stimulating that part of my brain. And it's setting goals, and it's also setting goals, breaking them down, and making sure, like, every morning, I have my to-do list, and I have my kind of vision board, and I have my everything around me to kind of get going, and I think it's interesting, actually, launching the VoiceOver Network. I mean, it was a huge thing, and it was about setting the date that it was going to launch. That was the first thing, and I think so. Once you set a date. You say this is when that's going to happen. That is really, really powerful because it makes you do it. And I remember I set the date. It was the end of January 2015. And suddenly, and then you start telling people that's what's going to happen on that day. You got to do it.
So you're accountable.
Yeah. So you've got to set the date, and you've got to start telling people that it's going to happen, and then you've got to do it.
And then I know we talked about, in the beginning, is there also something about not having to be too perfect? Because I know we talked in the beginning that sometimes there were errors, and you were just like, oh, so.
Yeah,
talk about that.
It is tough. So the Buzz magazine, no matter how many times it's proofread, I've proofread it, again and again and again. Whenever I get my hands on the printed copy, I always spot a mistake, and it's just so hard. But another thing actually that Nigel Botterill has always kind of said is that an okay email sent is better than a perfect email that never gets sent. Which is really, really true, because if you wait until it's perfect, it's you're never going to get it out there, and sometimes you just got to get things out there and just move on, and not worry about things being perfect, because perfection can be overrated.
Right. Yeah, and I think also today, in the age of social media, sometimes it's nice to see people not so perfect, because it's like you can relate to that, and you're like, oh, and then I think that gives you some more freedom in your own life to not be perfect and know that, and embrace it a little bit more.
Definitely.
Yeah. I want to talk to you real quick about mentors, because you've mentioned that a couple times now. Yes. How important are mentors to you, and how should people go about? I think mentors are something that we all think about, but it's hard to maybe reach out or feel like you should ask for. How did you get yours, and what are your advice to people for getting their mentors for their careers?
Yeah, so I think it's so important to surround yourself with people that inspire you. So, if and whether that is just, reading books, inspiring people, watching interviews, podcasts, webinars, all that kind of stuff. And in terms of kind of mentoring, just reach out to them. Reach out to them. If you don't ask, you don't get. And so often, if you ask somebody, they'll probably really want to mentor you. So I think go out there and listen to webinars and watch podcasts and all that kind of stuff, and just see who you gravitate to. The other thing that I think is really, really important in business and entrepreneur and all of that, and in sport, is trusting your instinct. And when you start really listening to your instinct, and that's how I've got to where I've got to with my business, is that I really trust my instinct, and I go with my gut, and I don't second guess myself. And when you start kind of just going with your gut, and it's like, right, this feels right, I'm going to do it. It's not always going to work. Yeah. And a big part of that is making mistakes, and you've got to be willing to make mistakes. We have to make mistakes all the time. That's how we learn to walk. And that's how we become entrepreneurs. When you see, the most successful entrepreneurs, they have failed so many times. People like Richard Branson and stuff. There's so many businesses that that he's messed up with, and lots of mistakes. But he keeps going, and that's so important.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, we're going to jump over to your actually VO career a little bit too, because you're also a VO artist yourself and an actor. So we have your demo reel here, so we'll play a little bit of your demo reel for folks out there.
No matter what life throws at you, relax with 5-Star Movies. Sponsored by Persil.
Secrecy. The residents where lawlessness and disorder maintain control. Seekers are drawn to these places to find hidden treasures. With knowledge over others, their own power grows. They hold on to things they shouldn't have.
We're getting hot and spicy. With spicy food, taste the pain. On Travel Channel. Whatever your latest taste in fashion, food or furniture, Centre MK has over 190 outlets to help you find it in a flash. Centre MK. Unlimited style, one destination.
Such great range and fun. What do you love most about voiceover?
Oh gosh, it is the best job in the world. I mean, it really, really is. And I used to get in trouble at school for talking. I was the kid at school who was always getting in trouble for talking, and every single report I ever had from school said, Rachel talks too much. If Rachel stopped talking and got more work done. And I feel like when I found voiceovers, it was like, this is where I'm meant to be. Amazing. I would love to go back to all those teachers and go, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Actually.
It worked out well for me.
Yeah, there we go. So, but I love the acting. I love doing video games. I love creating characters, and I love this. It's kind of like it's like a music that you're bringing scripts to life and you're interpreting copy, and it's wonderful. Yeah. So much fun.
I think we have a picture of one of your video game characters in there, possibly. Maybe. Sorry. There, go back. Yeah.
Yes. Alariel the Everqueen. She was so fun to play. She was a great. So that's Total War Warhammer 2. The Queen and the Crone. And
I can just imagine you in this role.
It was it was so fun. And it's the first time that they had a female lead in one of the Warhammer games. And and the first time they'd had a female voice the trailer for one of their games, and I was like, that was me. So I was really proud of that.
Yeah, how great did that feel? I mean,
really good. It was like about time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was a fun character to play. I loved doing that. I absolutely loved it.
And I think some One Direction fans out there, Directioners, are very pleased that you voiced 3 of their movies.
Yes, the One Direction films. Yeah. Which was good fun. So yeah, I did a few of those. That was good. Yeah.
What advice do you have for people that want to get into voiceover?
So my advice would be to research and to train, get a good voiceover coach, and read. There's lots and lots of blogs out there, but get a copy. Subscribe to the Buzz magazine, get a coach and learn, read up, do lots and lots of research before you you throw too much money into it. Just make sure that it is where you want to be, and find voiceover artists and reach out to them and chat to them, because it's a wonderful community. Voiceover artists are just a very kind of special type of people, I think, because we are actors, but we spend a lot of time, sitting in little black boxes talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
when we get out and we go to events and stuff, there's such a lovely support, and It's great.
I totally agree. I mean, we met at the VO Atlanta conference, and that's the first conference I'd ever been to. And I was just, I know all the, the VO people here, I think it's just such a wonderful community. But then to even go to those conferences and feel it like on that level, it's just people from all over. And again, all just the best people. And yeah, like I feel like a lot of and I know you're an actor as well on screen. How do you feel about, I find the VO world more, people are willing to help each other out, less as competitive. Is that true for you?
Definitely. And I think, it's not as sort of cutthroat, I think, as on screen, because you don't have to worry about sort of what you look like, and it's all in your voice. And I think there's also an element of voiceover that you have to have a big personality to do voiceovers, because you're putting your personality into the script. So voiceover artists are generally quite sort of outgoing and bubbly, because that's what that's what you get booked to do most of the time. So yeah.
And I pulled this picture too of you. I love, because let's talk a little bit about like some of the gear. So this is the other thing about VO, that you can do it wherever when you travel.
Yeah, definitely. So you take your kit with you, and I have a home studio. I love having a home studio. Having kids, it was perfect. It's been, great with my little ones, being able to kind of jump in the booth. But yeah, that's me with the vocal booth to go kit. So but no, it's all good.
Well, speaking a little more of travel, we want to talk about your adventure side a little bit, away from the voiceover.
Wonderful.
So we have a shot of here. You actually swam with sharks. So tell me about that.
So that picture, that's in Australia. That's me swimming with a whale shark off the Ningaloo Reef, which was amazing. And in fact, my 5-year-old little girl came with me in the water. I had to come too.
That's great.
Bless her. She was like, "Come on, Lily." I
love it.
But I love sharks. I absolutely love sharks, and I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. But I also, so that was wonderful. I mean, whale sharks they are harmless. They just eat plankton and stuff. But I have been cage diving with great white sharks.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't have a picture of that
there
one.
We go. That's There's a big picture in my front room actually that I took of this great white. So that was in South Africa, and that was an amazing experience to get in the water with these huge.
Wow.
Absolutely huge great white sharks. That was pretty incredible. But and I love scuba diving, and I love seeing sharks. I think they're beautiful, incredible creatures that I have a lot of respect for. So,
And now when you come out here to visit, you've also started picking up surfing with one of our other VO friends.
Yay.
So I think we have a picture of you. Yeah, there you go. You guys surfing.
Yeah.
So you even went this morning, so you're just loving it?
I was surfing this morning. Yeah, I totally love it. And
shout out to Scott Parkins.
Yes,
in case you're watching, Scott.
There he is. Scott Parkins taught me to surf. I love surfing, and it's funny. It's something that I always wanted to learn to do, but I live in London, and there isn't a beach. There's no surf, so it's kind of difficult. And when I came out last year, Scott was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you to surf," and I'm a snowboarder, so I was able to get up and stand on the board quite quickly. And my sister's a big surfer, and her husband's like he does like the big waves. He's a big surfer. It just I love it. I absolutely love it. I was out there this morning. I caught what I thought was quite a big wave, and I like squealed. It was really fun. But no, it was great.
That's
really
awesome.
Great. So
So now, tell us for some of the travel adventure people out there, if we were going to go to London, first timer in London, what are some must-sees, must-dos in London?
London. Oh gosh, there's so much to see in London. It's a fantastic city. I think the best city in the world, because I love London. So if you're going to come to London, go to Covent Garden, which is wonderful. I love Covent Garden. It's got an amazing energy. It's an old market, but we have lots of street performers that come, and they do big shows, and they swallow knives and go on a tightrope or juggle crazy things. I think, what were they juggling when I took my girls there the other day? Toilet seats. Someone was juggling toilet seats. You know, so Covent Garden is great, and also South Bank, which is lovely, and it's along the river, and it's again, there's like lots going on, lots of theatre. So you got to come to the theatre, and it's London's there's loads going on. There's always tons happening. So
All right, lots to check out. I need to get there. I got to get it on the list. So next year, I'm going to plan a trip to come see you.
You've got to come. Yeah, come to London. Come to London because you'll love it. It's good fun. Although it's cold now and raining quite a lot.
What's your favorite month?
Oh, that's a tricky one. May is a good one. May is nice because it's warm and it's spring. But I love the season changes, so I do like October because I like it when it starts to get cold and you start putting a jumper
layers
on. And everything, all the trees are beautiful colours of oranges and stuff. So, but no, it's good. I do love my travelling though. I do love coming out here and, I feel very, very grateful to do what I do and be able to kind of combine, the travelling with the events and with the voiceovers and the magazine and it's good fun.
Yeah.
It's good
Well,
fun.
it's a great world you've all created with all of this, and we're all so thankful for it because you're building really great things.
Thank you. Yay.
Well, real quick, we do each week here TomGirl of the Week. So our TomGirl of the Week for this week goes to Michelle Obama. Her book came out today, and before it even came out, it was already for pre-sales in Barnes & Noble. It was the most, it had the most pre-orders than any book in 3 years. And today, just in the few hours that it was out, it was already a bestseller early on in the day. And it just, of course, Oprah Winfrey endorsed it, and it just says, Michelle Obama's personal story, of course, but I believe it's going to spark within you the desire to think about your own becoming. So I guess she just really gets very personal and vulnerable in it. And I mean, she's just beautiful and amazing, and I can't wait to read it. So she gets the TomGirl of the Week award.
Oh, wow.
And then another thing I wanted to mention here, it's been a very tough week for California, and our firefighters and first responders are doing so much to try to help people and save their homes and protect all of us. So if you guys can do anything to help, I have a few places that you can do. You can text the Red Cross to 90999. There's a lot of animals that have been displaced in this, and you can contact the Humane Society of Ventura County. And also, if you want to donate, you can donate to @lafdfoundation.org. If you go online, there's a lot of resources of ways that you can help out if you're feeling like you would like to help and help people out in this time of need. I would Malibu and these places of these fires for me are my favorite places out here, and definitely places I go when when you need a break from LA, and they're just gorgeous, and to see what's happening just is really heartbreaking, and my heart just goes out for everybody who's lost their homes and their land, and just a big thank you to all the firefighters and first responders on that. All right, so back to you. All right, so what is upcoming for you? Where can people kind of follow the news of everything you're doing, or follow you on, social media? How can people stay in touch?
Oh, yes, please do. So I'm on social media. I'm on Twitter, Rachael Naylor, and on Instagram, Rachael.Naylor. And then there's also the VoiceOver Network. So Twitter is Network VO. And then Instagram is _voiceover_network. And then also on Facebook as well. You can just search on Facebook and come to the website. So a couple of websites, obviously, you've got the two things going on. So rachelnaylor.com, which is my website, and then also the VoiceOver Network.co.uk. So if you want to come there, you can check out all the stuff that we've got going on. You can subscribe to the Buzz magazine via that website, and you can join our mailing list, and you can join the network if you'd like to. You can apply to join. So
And what are some of the upcoming events that you have?
So what have we got coming up? So we have our Christmas party in London, which is on the 7th of December, and it's out of this world. So it's actually a space-themed Christmas party. Every year we have a theme to our Christmas party. Last year was Wild West. The year before was rock and roll. The year before that was Gatsby. So this year it's all about space. So that's going to be good fun. And then we've got Get Your Game On is happening in London in April. So we've got, those things going on. And then also I do the VoiceOver Hour webinar, which I run every other Wednesday. So it's every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. And it's a live webinar where I interview different people in the voiceover industry. So yes.
Where is that one up at?
So that's on the website.
Okay,
So if you come and subscribe, we will send you information via email.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much good stuff. Well, thank you so much. This has just been so great, and I just love everything you're doing. So thank you for taking the time while you're out here to do this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Now we need some limoncello and a drink.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining. Next week, we have Daniel Goddard from The Young and the Restless. So we'll see you here again next Tuesday for TomGirl Tuesday. Have a good week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.